Good afternoon, everybody. It is Valentine's Day here in North America and many other parts of the world. My name is Lauren Cohen. I am an international legal and real estate expert here as your host of Investing Across Borders, where we teach you how to invest, live, work, and most importantly, play across borders. And I'm here today with a playmate of mine that I haven't seen in over a year, except for in passing to drop off groceries or drop off at Dunkin' Donuts or say hi to my new puppy or something like that. But we used to spend so much time together. One of my true soulmates, and Shoshana Deakter. Anne lives literally a mile from me and grew up in this lovely city of Montreal, Canada, as I grew up in Toronto, Canada. And Anne is a soulful entrepreneur. She really helps people find their purpose and find their passion and ignite the passion so that you can achieve your heart's desire, both personally and professionally. Anne, would you like to say hello and give us a little bit more background on you?
Hi, everyone. Who am I talking to, by the way? Where is everyone tuning in from?
Canada? Everywhere.
All over the world.
All over the world.
So like Lauren said, happy Valentine's Day. And I was in Trader Joe's today, and you had to see everyone running around with their chocolate and their
flowers,
their flower bouquets. I don't know. I think with COVID, I think I've just totally gotten out of the loop. Like, not only
we all have to a certain extent.
So I'm thinking to myself, wow, my husband is working today online. Like, we're all Zooming from home, like everybody else is Zooming from home, right?
And by the way, Anne's husband is a doctor, so he's performing medical services through telehealth. I mean, it's a crazy world. Thank God we have these abilities to do this.
Well, we said, there are no accidents. That's like a soul, what did you call it? A soulfulpreneur? How do you call it?
Soulfulpreneur.
Soulfulpreneur. It's like a mouthful for me.
Mm-hmm.
So a soulfulpreneur knows that things happen for a reason. They just don't happen just because. So one of the things that was really amazing was that when COVID hit, we were really concerned, my husband and I, because he is turning 70 this year, and he's been in the ER for many decades. And when COVID hit, he was terrified. He was, and rightly so. He's lost many of his friends, the fellow doctors.
Yeah.
And I love this expression. Like, what does a soulfulpreneur do? How does a soulfulpreneur handle challenge, chaos, world gone crazy? You have to make lemonade out of lemons. I know it's a somewhat trite expression, but it was amazing how it happened. It's like all of a sudden he said to me, he says, I'm not going back into the ER, but I still want to practice medicine. And then lo and behold, telehealth has been on the back burner. It's been there, but now all of a sudden it took the forefront. And so he shifted immediately from being in the ER to telehealth. And yes, it's been an adjustment, but I really believe everything happens for a reason. And this is one of the key things I want to leave with your listeners, is we have to live in that place, in that consciousness that whatever is happening to us is happening for good. Why? Because whether you're a God-fearing person or not, you're a seeker, you're a spiritual, you're not. Listen, we all on some level believe that there is a higher power, that there's source out there. And when things happen, we have to understand, good, bad, and different, that because our Creator is good, the things that, even though they might appear bad in the moment and challenging, in the end, it will be good because the seed level is good.
But you have to believe in that seed level to be able to manifest that. And whatever you focus on does manifest, right?
Right. But I don't think these days, it used to be like people, you and I have talked about this a lot. It used to be that people would look at me and go, ooh, woo, woo.
No more woo woo. Everybody has some woo woo, or else they need to get some.
You couldn't survive this world these days without a little bit of woo woo, right?
Right, exactly.
It's not uncommon now. I'm like, even the term soulfulpreneur. When have we ever soulful selling?
Right.
When have we ever saw these terms come out, like the greats, Dean Graziosi, Tony Robbins, Russell Brunson? They're all talking how to sell from your soul, how to connect with people,
Yeah.
how to. It's a world of connections.
Yes.
So
Very true.
and when a person connects with you authentically from their soul, and that this is how you create business today, relationships.
Yeah, it's true. And those of us, I think, like obviously for myself, I've always been working virtually. So it was not a huge transition for me. It's just that now I have Zoom fatigue rather than driving fatigue, a little bit of both sometimes. But I think that for those of us that are used to pivoting and finding that why, maybe redefining our why from time to time, being able to be in touch with our inner selves and what do we want out of our lives professionally and personally, and bringing those two together, where does that meet? And that's what I think you focus on, is where do those things meet?
I always love to say to people when I teach or when I have a client come to me and say something's not working, and typically if something's not working either professionally or personally, the first instinct is people want to like run away, distract, sex, drugs, rock and roll. I know we're dating ourselves, right, Lauren? Whatever. So that's the first thing they want to do.
Yeah.
But I always say to someone, okay, you can move to Florida, you can move across state, you can move, but you know what? You're taking you with you. You know that, right?
Yeah.
It's still you. I mean, in your business, people are cross borders. They're moving from country to country. You're still taking you with you.
Yeah, you can't. It's like you say, you can even when you talk about leaving a place, like, I'm a Toronto girl. You can take the girl out of Toronto, but you can't take Toronto out of the girl. And that's just a saying, but it's true of pretty much anything. At the end of the day, the essence of who you are is what comes through in everything that you do. Even if inauthentically, you may try to hide it from time to time or change. And that doesn't mean that you can't improve and grow and develop, but the essence of you is still going to come through. And if you can't just fake it till you make it, you actually have to, it has to become the essence of you as you are morphing and growing and changing. And I think that that's where you come in to help people find their true path and their true desire. Because from time to time, I mean, Anne's been there for me many times, maybe not as a formal coach, but informally, because there's been times in my business where I've been like, I don't know, I don't feel exactly like I'm finding my why. And it's taken me time. And at times I was so frustrated, literally banging my head against the wall. And she was there to say, you know what, Lauren, just you got to believe that there is a greater power. And I do. And that greater power is holding my hand, maybe not physically, but instinctively, I know that power is there. And that power, whatever the source is, as Anne said, that you believe in, whether it's God or whether it's just the universe, whatever, it's that belief that can keep you going, because at the end of the day, you're not in control of everything.
Yeah. And not only that, the one thing that I love that I take from my spiritual teachings is that, that expression, just do it. I mean, Nike hit it, got it.
So true.
So right. Like on point. Because, here's the thing, there's got to be a balance. You can't sit on a mountaintop and go, oh, and expect everything to be perfect and expect the universe to take care of you and manifest everything. And you can't also be the one who thinks like, give yourself a, pat on the back. I did it. I made it happen. So at some point, like there's this dichotomy. We live in a physical world and we live in a spiritual world. And we've got to create a balance, or like what I like to call a bridge. We've got to build a bridge from the physical to the spiritual, because everything you want in your life, personal, professional, is in the spiritual world. We have to download it from there. We have to cross the bridge from the physical to pull it from the spiritual and bring it over. So, like, I love what
that's a big border to cross.
That's a huge border to cross. And by the way, if you look at Tony Robbins, his first part of his shtick, of his thing, is all about mindset.
Mindset every single day.
Every single lecture, every
He's
single
amazing that
seminar,
way. It
every
is so
single
true.
thing.
Right.
And
He
all
pumps you up because he wants you to be in the right mindset to take in what he's sharing. And it's so true that it's all a path to greater development, to open your mind. And if you're not open to it, it's never going to happen.
Yeah. So that's the thing I've come to realize, is that the mindset part of things is, once that seed level, once that mindset box is created, that's when you just do it. And I'm not talking of, you have to. So I love to tell this story. So this man, there's a flood, and the water is rising and rising and rising and rising and rising, and he's going from the first story to the second story, and now he's outside on top of his roof, and he's, going to his higher power, like, are you kidding me? I believe in you, save me. And 2 seconds later, a canoe or a boat comes along and says, hey, mister, can I help you? No, God will save me. Thank you very much. I don't need you. Then the water's like up to here to his nose. He's about to drown, and a helicopter comes overhead and drops down a ladder, and he says, mister, can I help you? Do you need me to help you? No, God will save me. So then he goes to the pearly gates, and he meets his maker, and he says, what? I believed in you. I depended on you, and you let me drown. What's the matter with you? How come you didn't help me? And God says, what are you talking about? Of course I helped you. I sent you the boat. I sent you the helicopter. And this is the point. Each one of us, to succeed in life, to cross that border between, I can do it all by myself, and there are so many people in my life. There's my higher power and the people who will come into my life. And you're one of those people, Lauren, for your audience. You are a messenger. And not only are you a messenger, you're a messenger in a way that takes your ego and puts it to the side. And it's not about me.
Never.
And I'm going to do this for you. You're really in relationship with people in a way because you want the best for them.
Yes.
You don't succeed. You're not happy unless your people are happy.
100%. That's 100% true. It's never, for me, and I think for those of us that have been successful through COVID, it's never about how much money I make. It's about how much did I accomplish my goals for my clients and with my clients. Because as you said, I'm in a relationship with them. And relationship capital, to me, is the most important capital that I have. And I pride myself on having strong relationships. We're not always perfect. We're not always going to be able to deliver or meet the expectations of the other party. But at the end of the day, we have to know that we've done our very best. And that's the best we can do.
And not only that, it's really interesting. This week, I was reminded of a very famous piece of wisdom. It's a piece of wisdom that goes like this. Make yourself a holy connection in your life. Make yourself a spiritual practice and buy yourself a friend. So how does this relate to business? Is that if you want to succeed in life, you need to go with the people who not only can get you there, but who can get you there in a way, in a relationship, like a friend. Someone who has what you have. And I'm not just talking about, this is, I think, where a soul entrepreneur comes in, is truly, I don't want to just go to a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant that someone sees me like a piece of meat, like a check off the box. I can make so much money off of her. When I smell that in a professional, I run for the hills. It's like putrid to me. That's how bad it is. So when you really want to make this shift, whatever shift, you want to cross a border, you want to grow take yourself from here to here. You have to know you're not just taking your business from here to here, you're taking you with you from here
That's
to
right.
here.
And you are the one who's going to dictate the success or failure of that. And at the end of the day, if your mindset isn't there, that's why one of the questions I ask before I ever take anybody on an exploratory session or a consult or anything is, are you ready, 100% ready to do this? And people will say yes, but you need the mindset. That's a mindset question in my questionnaire. And they don't even sometimes know what that means. What does, well, I have the right mindset. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean for you? What is mindset?
So here's the funny thing, Lauren. I remember when I met you, I was just finishing raising my youngest. I mean, I'm still raising, he's 16, but
he thinks he's done. You just think you're done, forget about that.
Never done.
Right.
I don't even want to tell you what's with the driving now and everything. And
yeah.
Oh my gosh. But I remember you saying something to me that about being an entrepreneur. Like I decided I have been learning and studying and applying and teaching, but like part-time for 26 years.
Yeah.
I remember like when my son turned around 13, I like something shifted inside of me and I said, that's it. It's time for me to go big or go broke, right?
Right.
And I remember you saying to me, being an entrepreneur is the hardest job in the world.
Well, other than being a mom, but yes.
Yes.
Being a mom is definitely by far the hardest job ever in the history of the world. And that being a mom is thankless. At least being an entrepreneur, sometimes it's not thankless.
I don't know. I feel like being an entrepreneur is thankless because all I do, you told me you're just going to work and you're going to work and work and people are going to think you're crazy.
Crazy. If they don't think you're crazy, you're not doing it right.
So you got to be a little woo-woo. You got to be a little crazy. And you got to be in a relationship with people. And you have to be ready to just do it.
Just do it.
Done
it's so
is
true.
better than done. And don't look for perfection. And look to constantly, one of the greatest tools I share with mindset is you've got to always internally monitor your thoughts. And this is the guide. No matter what you're doing, is what I'm thinking, feeling, and about to do going to bring good or going to bring bad?
Absolutely.
Keep it simple, stupid. That's it. If it's going to bring good for my client, if it's going to bring good for the world. And that's what a soul entrepreneur is right now. We're not only concerned about increasing our own coffers, we really get that we have a responsibility to heal the world. We get that. Mm-hmm. That's what a soul entrepreneur is. And that's what makes us so tasty. People feel that. They know that. And they want that. You know, I just did a post on social media, which I just think exemplifies that 100%. So you have this caterpillar and a butterfly having coffee together. And the butterfly turns to the caterpillar and says, something's different about you. And I just thought that was so amazing because that's what it's going to look like when you go into business with someone. When you come from that place of, I just want to shed the old, emerge as a beautiful butterfly. I care about the world. I care about being the best person I can be. And the people around you are going to look at you and go, something's different about you. Did you lose weight? Did you cut your hair? Did you
lose your mind?
You lose your mind. So it's that passion and that excitement for what's next and truly caring for your clients. Because you know, Lauren, that when you help someone cross the border, start over, that you're not just taking on anybody, you're taking on people who have viable business that are going to do good for the world, that are going to make an impact. This is not just a way to make money. This is how you channel your soul's true purpose. Mm-hmm. And I even remember recently you saying to me that you had dabbled in a few other things and you were thinking about doing this and you were thinking about doing this, but you always find yourself coming back to where you are right now, mm-hmm. because this is your calling.
Yep. You can push it away, but at the end of the day, if it's where you're meant to be, you're going to end up coming back. And
I
that's
think
where that
so.
higher power comes in, because it's going to draw you back. It's going to draw you back. And it's not ever only about the money. It's about living your true purpose and knowing what your true purpose is. And maybe the path is going to be rocky, but it doesn't mean that the path is not going to get you ultimately to your goal. And for me, that goal is impact, and for you as well. So, and I thank you for joining me on Valentine's Day, even though many of us in the world don't necessarily celebrate it. It's a beautiful holiday because it's the holiday of love, and we're always celebrating love. And a lot of people say, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because you're my Valentine every day or something like that. But for some people, they're not so fortunate. And for others that are not in a relationship, it makes it very real that Valentine's Day is, oh, I'm all alone, but you're never alone. And this is what Anne said to me the many times that I felt very alone as a single mom who was, not in a relationship, a quote unquote, typical traditional male female relationship. She would always say, you're never alone. You always have that relationship with that higher power. And that's important as a business owner, as a person, as a human being, that we have that relationship with whatever the higher power is. And that relationship is going to help us no matter where in the world we are, whether we're overseas, whether we're in North America, whether we're in Tahiti or in Fiji Islands or whatever, which is where I would like to be right now, in a little hut with nobody bothering me, but I probably would go get really bored and end up working anyway. So, Anne, where do people find you to find out more about what you do? And by the way, I forgot to mention that Anne's book, she wrote, what, 2, 3 years ago,
3 years.
called You're Not Here to Be Good, You're Here to Be Better. And it's a wonderful book that everybody should read. And I'd love you to share where people can find that and where people can find you.
It's so funny because like the tagline was how to create hope, purpose, and fulfillment in a world gone crazy. And my editor said to
Should
me,
do part 2, A World Gone Crazier.
he said, what are you coming up with this thing, a world gone crazy? I said, I don't know. I just feel, and then here we are, how apropos is that subheading in a world gone crazy. So the book is You Aren't Here to Be Good, You're Here to Be Better. How to create hope, purpose, and fulfillment in a world gone crazy, and that is on Amazon. And best way to connect with me is, I guess my email address is Anne Shoshana D for divine @gmail.com, and it's Anne with an E. And Facebook, and under Anne Shoshana Deakter, and
Deakter is spelled Deakter, and it will all be in the show notes because Anne's going to send me her bio.
yeah.
And then we're going to put, I knew she would laugh at that. We're going to put it in the show notes so you can connect with her, because even if you've never thought about connecting with a higher power, it's well worth following Anne and learning some of the amazing stuff that she teaches. Loving, sharing, caring, always about giving and opening yourself up to receive as well. And that's important. We were talking about this with Bob Berg, who you've met the other day, about soulful selling in a way. And he was saying how it's just as important to be open to receive as it is to be giving. And it's true, to be a go-giver, you must be open to receive. And that's important. And I think that a lot of us think we can only give and we shouldn't take and we shouldn't accept. That's not true. It's all part of the same kind of closing the loop, giving and receiving. So Anne, thank you for your time today. It's a pleasure as always, and I will let you know once the show posts. And again, I'm Lauren Cohen with Investing and Learning and Training and Becoming an Impact Entrepreneur Across Borders. I am an international lawyer and real estate expert, and I am here to help you learn how to invest, live, work, and play anywhere in the world. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.